Alright everybody, welcome back to another video. So today's video, I'm going to be discussing the VTC actuator and timing chain problems on, in this case, a 2014 Honda CRV. This affects 2012 to 2014 CRV with the 4-cylinder engine, the 2012-2015 Honda Crosstour with the 4-cylinder, and the 2012 Accord. So recently, a lawsuit was filed, and it was a nationwide lawsuit, class action lawsuit against Honda. A court ended up whittling it down to only certain people in Illinois being awarded a judgment. So the rest of you across the country are out of luck for now. But if you've had problems that you've had to pay to have your car fixed, save your receipts, because I don't think this will be the end of this. I made a video about a year ago about this topic, and there'll be a link to that below. Be sure to check it out. The comment section, I got a lot of mixed, I got a lot of anecdotal comments from owners of CRVs who say that they've never had a problem, or they have the noise, but it's not a problem. But then again, I'm not really interested in your anecdotal stories. I'm interested in fact and what I see as a mechanic when I look at what's going on with these cars. So there's some interesting information that's come to light on how to fix this, but today I'm going to show you what happens when it goes beyond just the VTC actuator. So what happens with these engines is there's a VTC actuator, which I'll be showing you in a minute. It starts to be able to not free up and rotate correctly. They say due to a spring inside. It's an inherent design problem is what it really is. And what that does is it causes it to bind up, and the timing chain kind of like slacks up and has to like bust free this actuator, and you'll hear a noise when you start the car. So over time, if you just let that go, combined with maybe not the greatest maintenance on the car, I would say that seems to be a factor, not changing your oil enough or letting it run low, that just adds to the problem. And what happens is over time the timing chain stretches from all of the additional wear and tear. So an engine with a timing chain should last hundreds of thousands of miles without any kind of service. The older Honda 2.4s go for 300,000 miles easy. So this case, this vehicle has 90,000 miles on it. It's a 2014, and I know those of you watching are going to say, that looks like a 2015 or 16. It just had a facelift done on the front. Look at the fog lights. This is just the front end off of 15. Look at the engine. It's from a 14. Okay? So I'm going to start this car, and let me give you a little piece of information. This car has a brand new VTC actuator in it. It's 75 degrees and warm. The car's been sitting for 24 hours, but it's warm outside. Alright, so remember a second ago I told you the temperature. So it's warm enough, we didn't get a full-on, long, nasty actuator noise, but I'm sure you heard that loud rattling sound. So what's going on is the timing chain has stretched, and this car was purchased from a used car lot. It was making the sound really bad every time it was started. They put a VTC actuator on it. It really needed a whole timing set. So they basically put the top of the engine back in time, and it's off. You'll be able to see, I'll show you in a minute, you'll see that the timing is off at the bottom, and it doesn't match the top. It's because the chain is stretched, and they put the top back in time when they put a new VTC actuator on it. So it kind of masks the problem a little bit, but you can tell there's performance problems. The timing is retarded on the engine, and the car is running with low power. It has a weird sound coming from the intake when you rev it under a load. It's getting poor gas mileage. All signs of a timing issue. It is not actually bad enough yet that there's any check engine lights. So in worst case scenarios, you get check engine lights, the car becomes undrivable. I do have a clip of it making the sound on a cold morning. And the temperature really does make a difference, as you know, if you have a vehicle with this. Now remember, this car has a brand new VTC actuator, and what you are hearing is the slack in the timing chain is, as the timing chain is coming around, it's grinding over the VTC actuator until enough oil pressure gets into the tensioner and the actuator. And then the noise stops because everything starts working. In this case, the timing chain is so loose that even with a brand new tensioner and VTC actuator, that the chain is coming up and there's a guide under here and it's slapping the bottom of that guide because it's loose. So every time it comes up and whips around, you'll hear it going tick, 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 tick. That's the timing chain slopping in there, and it's like whipping around. So I had this priced out to be fixed at a couple of Honda dealers, just to kind of see where we're at in 2023. So the average dealer now is about $175 an hour in labor. Prices range from about just the timing set, $1,500 starting, to local Honda dealer here for everything, the actuator and the timing set, it was almost $3,000 with tax. So they want almost $3,000 to fix this problem if you take it to a dealer. So I'm going to be fixing it myself. Like I said, this is something I didn't want to have to do, but something I can totally do. Using genuine Honda parts for under $500. We'll replace the whole timing set and put a brand new VTC actuator, even though it's got a new one. It's got a Dorman actuator on it. And supposedly, believe it or not, from the reviews, the Dorman actuators seem to be better than the Honda ones, but everything is going OEM Honda on this thing, and everything will be documented and saved, because I have a feeling that in the future I'm going to be reimbursed by Honda for this. Alright, so this is supposedly about a 6-hour job, so if you're doing it yourself, plan on at least a day. I'd say at least. The biggest thing they've taken into account for is when you're putting the engine back together, we have to use Honda Bond or RTV basically to glue on the timing cover, and ideally you want to let that dry at least overnight before you put the car back in use and start it up and all that. So here's the stuff, some things to note. I just went ahead and bought a whole new timing cover. I've got an oil leak from the old one. I haven't really diagnosed where it's coming from, but for 90 bucks for the whole thing, it's actually a good deal. And I didn't know this when I bought it, because I bought a new tensioner cover and a crank seal. It actually comes, so this is the timing cover right here. It came with the rubber O-ring seal there. It came with the crank seal. It came with the tensioner cover already Honda bonded and bolted in place. So obviously I didn't know that. I bought all new bolts and seals and all that stuff for that, which I didn't need to do. Like, you know, like the O-ring, stuff like that. So here's the timing cover, crank seal. And so I wasted a little bit of money. So just note, if you're gonna do what I did and buy a whole new timing cover, then I don't gotta worry about scraping old gaskets and stuff like that on the cover. It'll look nice, and for the price, it's worth it. Genuine Honda timing chain. This is the latest one. It's got the colored links on it, which let you perfectly set the engine and time. I will say this is not going to be a how-to video. There's a bunch of videos on YouTube exactly how to do this. I'm just covering this situation, and I want to show you what happens. There's a lot of people that talk about, you know, it's not a big deal and blah, blah, blah. I want to show you why it's kind of a big deal. We're going to use all new guides. Again, all genuine parts. So, there are 2 guides for the timing chain on the side. I am going to go ahead and put, since I'm putting a new actuator, I'm going to put a new, this is the exhaust sprocket, just in case there's any wear on the teeth of the sprocket. So I got a new bolt for that. And then basically we've got a brand new tensioner, even though it has a brand new tensioner. You really can't reuse them, because once you release the pin on the tensioner, it's pretty hard to get it put back to the way it was. So we're just going to go all new. That way we can eliminate everything. We have receipts for everything. We'll be able to document the process. Okay, so I've got the valve cover off. I've actually got the cams locked at top dead center. I've got my tool stuck in the back there. That's the pins that are locking the cams in place. So you know that everything's where it's supposed to be because the arrows are pointed, the arrow here, and then the biggest telltale is between the two cams there's little dots that face each other exactly right there. So we know that we're at top dead center and we're in the correct timing position at the top of the engine, and down here on the bottom on the pulley it should be perfectly lined up if it was correct with the white line. So let's go find our white line. Alright, so under here you have a white dot right here, and that should line up with this timing mark. And the timing mark and the white dot are about quarter to a third of an inch off. So the white dot is to the right of the timing mark, which indicates that our timing is off because it should be lined up perfectly when the top is lined up with each other. In this case, it's because the timing chain is stretched, and that's how far it's been stretched right there. So the used car dealer I bought the car from kind of just masked the problem. They did put a new VTC actuator on it. This is a Dorman one, and because it was making the startup noise, and their mechanic had to know the timing chain was stretched because it's very obvious. Once we get the new chain on there, that should fix all that up. When we get everything in place, all of those marks should line up. So what I'm gonna have to do is when I take this chain off, I'm gonna leave the top cams locked, and then I'm just gonna turn that crank pulley just a hair. You don't wanna start turning it because you don't wanna make contact in the engine with the pistons with the valves. But we're gonna turn it just to where it's in time before we set the new chain on. Make sure everything lines up and then put it back together. But we still got a lot of unbolting things to do. Take the engine mount off, get the whole cover off, get the engine supported underneath. But I'll touch base here in a minute when we're a little further along. Okay, so got the timing cover off, which is quite a bit of work. It's just labor getting like the engine mounts off, and it's a little tricky to get the bracket that bolts to the engine mount, and then through the cover, this bracket here off, this one bolt here. It's actually kind of pinned between the frame of the vehicle and the engine here. So you have to put a jack under the engine anyway to support the oil pan, but I had to like jack the engine pretty high just to get that to clear. Now I'm gonna stuff some towels in the entry to the oil pan down there so I can start cleaning all the gasket surfaces and getting all this old Honda bond off of here. You can see this engine, a little bit of gunk in here. It's not horrible. Alright, so here's a new exhaust cam gear VTC actuator. This is the updated Honda part. Gotta torque it down and then lock it into place. You always want to make sure that you get this unlocked, torque it down, and then lock it. Alright, so one other thing is to make sure you take this off right here. What this is this little screen, an oil screen. So oil comes in one way and then out through the screen right here. And this can get clogged up with gunk if the engine's been kind of neglected. So you want to spray it out with a lot of brake cleaner. They do make a gasket or a O-ring kit for that if it's smashed, and especially if it looks like there's been any leaks, you'll want to address that now. But if this is clogged, no oil is getting to the actuator, so it's very important that this be clean. Okay, so on the right is the old chain, on the left is the new chain. I've got it hanging on my finger just so you can see. If we go down here to the bottom, how much longer the one on the right is, that's the stretch in the chain. That's all it takes. Alright, so got everything back on, all the mounts back on. Timing case is installed and sealed up. Everything's torqued into place. Last thing to do is just install the valve cover and reconnect all the electrical connections and all that stuff, and we'll be done. Alright, so everything is back together. We're going to start it for the first time, check for leaks. That's a little more how it's supposed to sound. Alright, so hopefully this video is helpful. I just wanted to give you a little more information on the problem with these 2.4 engines that Honda made from the certain years. It's only certain years that were affected with the VTC actuator, specifically the resulting stretch of the timing chain that occurs. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave them below. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more informational videos such as this one. I appreciate you watching. Until next time, I'll see you later.